I really don't know how I feel about Love Hard. On the one hand, there are some really good things about it, but on the other, I feel like it could have been a lot more and done a lot more. I love the concept. The execution was alright. The conclusion, which I won't divulge, I will not spoil anything, but I will say for me personally, I kind of rolled my eyes a bit at how it concluded, but at the same time, I thought, I can see what you've done, I can see why you've done it, and it makes sense. And that's kind of the feeling I had throughout the film. Even if I wasn't overjoyed by anything that was happening, once the initial reveal was over, which I will discuss, even though I wasn't necessarily overjoyed at certain things, everything made sense. And that in itself is not something that happens too often nowadays, so that was at least a positive. This was released this year, 2021, directed by Hernán Jiménez. I've almost definitely mispronounced that, and I apologise. Written by Daniel Mackey and Rebecca Ewing. And this stars Nina Dobrev as our protagonist, Natalie. And she is on a dating app, and she meets somebody who is very handsome. He's tall, dark, and handsome, put it that way, and they hit it off, and things are going really great. She decides to surprise him. She flies out to where he lives to surprise him for the holidays, and she realizes instantly when she meets him that she has been catfished. And it's not actually in a creepy way. It's not like some sleazy old person trying to get his way with a young woman or, a murderer or whatever. It's just a, shall we say, I'm trying to, how do I put this nicely? He's not a jock. He was never popular at school. I don't think he's ever had his way with the ladies. Put it that way. Jimmy O Yang plays Josh, and as soon as she sees Josh, you can tell he is basically the exact opposite of Tag, who is the real person that she thought she was meeting. Josh actually knows Tag and was using his photos on the dating app to pretend to be better looking in society's eyes than he actually is. And initially, Natalie sticks around to help Josh because his family think that she is now his girlfriend. But she also sticks around because she believes that Josh will actually introduce her to the real Tag, the physical person she thought she was meeting. And while they spend time together, the film explores the concept of what finding your perfect soulmate is. There's this really interesting thing at the beginning about how it recounts Greek mythology, about how each person started off as two people. The gods weren't happy with that. Zeus didn't want anybody more powerful than Zeus, so it split the people in two. And we each have an exact match out there. And it's all about trying to work out what your exact match is, because what is perfect, or seemingly perfect, may not be so. I really thoroughly enjoyed this. There were some very peculiar scenes, some unusual narrative choices at certain parts. Natalie as a character, I don't really care for too much. Very well acted, absolutely, but there was nothing about her that I found very likeable. Josh, on the other hand, I kind of loved him instantly. I thought he would be a kind of basement computer sleuth, hacking away at things and, catfishing people all the time. But actually, that's not what he's like. He's just a young man looking to, receive that affection from somebody. And if he feels the only way he can do that is by catfishing, I don't agree with that. But you can see his motivation, even if it's not agreeable. And I really liked him. I instantly warmed to him. I thought Jimmy O Yang was absolutely brilliant. He gave a fantastic performance. Definitely that character drives this forward for me and made it watchable than it otherwise would have been. Would I recommend it? I would, but it's not amazing. It's not the best film I've ever seen. If you took Josh out of the equation, and I realise you'd be missing half of the film if you did that, but if you took him out of the equation, it would be very mundane and average. But because of his character and how well his character is written and how well his character is performed, Love Hard is not an average film, but actually a pretty sweet one.